So welcome to my video, Pax Europiana podcast video. I do both channels, and please subscribe also to my YouTube channel if possible. I'm very happy I make this small campaign to reach the first 100 this week, and also my podcast, Pax Europiana, is available on Apple and Google and everywhere. So now this video is about the visit of the EU Council President Charles Michel to Moldova, Ukraine and Georgia. He very timely has chosen at the end of February, at the most sensitive moment of the time of Crimea Annexation Day, Maidan Memorial Day, and also the Nemtsov killing. He very wisely set a very important step and visited Moldova and Ukraine and Georgia. That is our three DCFTA partners in the Eastern Partnership. And this is very welcome. It's a very good decision. I want to congratulate you that you did it. But where's the problem, Mr. Michel? I would like to address you directly and say, please, you prefer to use the term partner, close partner. That's utter nonsense. That's appeasement. You are really endangering the success of your whole presidency with such a bad policy, because I will call you every day now on Twitter and in this face. I will call you the Chamberlain, the appeasement man, the man who in the with French backing, because basically you were imposed on Europe by Emmanuel Macron, and he is now imposing a strategy of appeasement on you. And that leads, like Munich, when in 1938 it was clear that German aggression is already including Austria, having annexed Austria. This is very similar to Crimea, and then also having the Sudetenland already annexed. Then the British and the French decided to allow this all and sanction it, in a way approve of it, or not approve, but in the name of peace to make such concessions to Hitler. And what we now do, when you basically call Moldova and Ukraine and Georgia, all countries who have now pro-European governments, pro-European presidents, who have committed themselves to join the European Union and NATO, and you go there and call them partner. It's an insult. It's a very deep insult. Yeah? It's a kind of rejection of the European membership ambition. It's a rejection of the NATO membership ambition. It's very mean of you. It's a brutal thing to do for all the people who love us there and who want to be European citizens and who are Europeans. Yeah? There's no doubt about it. Yeah? Why you degrade them to partners? Partnership is good for Algeria in the south and for Uzbekistan in the east. Yeah? But for countries who are on the European continent, you have this treaty obligation in your job description to support the European ambition. You know the Copenhagen criteria. I'm confident. You know that you are wrong. Deep in your heart you know, but you have this imposed kind of strategic appeasement interest from the French, and you also really don't know exactly what's going on in Eastern Europe, because it's true the French and the Belgians care more for their African colonial inheritance and, you know, their imperial legacy, and also for Africa. We in Europe, in Eastern Europe, in Central Europe, also, you know, it's fine to support Africa. We should do that. It's morally good to repent your crimes there and also contribute to the future development. But not on the back of the Ukrainians, not on the back of the Moldovans and the Georgians. That's very mean. That's a wrong policy. That's strategically nonsense. That will set us on a major conflict with the Biden presidency and administration, because they obviously think very clearly, like they have helped you, Belgium, don't forget, and France and Western Germany, by creating NATO, by fending off the Soviet response. The Americans see it exactly like that, yeah? And they see you like Chamberlain. And you are so discredited by your activities, yeah, that you will have to resign very soon. And please, that would be really wrong, because now you are already president. Yeah? Whenever many people didn't want it and nobody voted for you, you are now the co-president of Europe and the president of the European Council. So now please make the best out of it and have some courage. Maybe it's time to read the European treaties, read the Copenhagen criteria, understand what Europe is, and maybe this trip will be a wake-up call. There is no moral nor legal basis for the rejection of Moldova. We have rejected it already 3 times for appeasement reason. And the same for Ukraine. I mean, don't you know the history? Don't you read? What's wrong? What's wrong? Ukraine has to become a NATO member, has to become a EU member. Now, anyhow, the Biden administration will take no kind of nonsense anymore from the Europeans. Yeah? And now Merkel, who was so adamantly against this perspective from Bucharest onwards, is anyhow on the way out. So there is the opening to make sure, because the next Chancellor of Germany will most likely not have such an international standing. And who really takes Mr. Macron serious in any kind of real world, yeah? And this appeasement policy. I mean, this is not representative of anybody in Europe. So, Mr. Michel, when you visit now these countries, now in Moldova and then Georgia and then Ukraine, this will be the itinerary, or first Ukraine, I will see that. It's today already, I saw you are in Moldova. It's time to live up to your task. And this will make a difference, because you have also the opportunity to convince the Europeans that you are a worthy leader for Europe, that you are a personality of historic significance as well. And that should be also the effort of a council president. And the most noble task is to bring new countries, to appreciate the Europeans who want to join the European project. Never forget, we just have, and you personally have partly presided as a parliament, as a Prime Minister of Belgium, contributed to the first time that we lost a country. I mean, I think every European official who was in that time in power in the Council or in the EU should basically cry forever because of the shameful situation to lose a country. And then it's double shameful when there are new countries who want to join, like Ukraine, Moldova, and Georgia, and we obviously reject them and insult them, calling them nice partners. I mean, this is an outrageous thing. This is outrageous. And you come at a very sensitive moment. There's also the whole weakness towards Russia. So we can anyhow do very little to change Putin's behavior, but we can all make all the difference towards Georgia, Ukraine and Moldova by simply granting them the EU potential candidate status and invite them to the Regional Cooperation Council, CEFTA, and all this pre-accession instrument and the regional networks we have created in Southeastern Europe. And that's very logical. But the most important decision you as the council president you can make is invite, after your visit, you come back, you invite the extra council, digital summit can be in a week, and then you say EU potential candidacy of Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova, you make a vote, then you make a decision who is against, Macron will be against, and then you name and shame Macron for what he is. Yeah? It's very clear, he is a Russian asset. He is the blockade of Europe. Yeah? And then it's the Americans who have to tackle him. Yeah, that's quite easy. But it's your task to do that, exactly in that format. And I hope now, in this visit in Moldova and in Ukraine, the pro-European leaders we have there, and also the crisis, Europe is very much responsible in all the free countries in the last 10 years because of our rejection of these free countries. You will understand that hopefully more, and you will proceed exactly like that. If not, I think you are the wrong council president, and please resign and make place for a new election. It should have anyhow been Klaus Iohannis from Romania, because we need also a new European from the new member states to be in the council presidency. And he has handled very good the political crisis in Romania, and now he's a very good government. He is now free to be the council president. Yeah? So if you cannot do the job, then please resign and let's get Klaus Iohannis from Romania to do the job. We don't need you for long. You will be having other positions, opportunities. You can be somewhere ambassador somewhere or go back to Belgium. It's fine. But if you cannot do the job with EU potential candidacy of Ukraine, Georgia, Moldova, please, Mr. Michel, then also draw the consequences, because such a weak president of the European Council we don't need. And we have alternatives, so it's not a problem. Yeah? So, Mr. Michel, it's your choice. I think it's very clear. I hope you come back enlightened, and please don't use the word partnership anymore in the reference to Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia, because that's an insult. And use also the same, like with Kosovo and Bosnia, EU potential candidacy. And also please make sure that Ukraine, Moldova and Georgia recognize Kosovo as well. That's also your task as a European Council President, to make sure our future potential candidacy member Kosovo is recognized by all others. So that's my call for you. Please please, Mr. Michel, convince us. You have already got this position. Now you have to convince the European public that you are worthy to fulfill it. And that's, I think, the key challenge now at the beginning of 2021. So please don't come back to Brussels without a clear yes to the EU potential candidate status of these 3 European countries. Thanks a lot. Bye.